Hi guys, so this that you're about to watch is the first part in a two-part video really. The two go together, and I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to release this video because it was a bit negative, or at least I felt a bit negative when I filmed it. I'm not too bad in it, but this is from Friday night. Tomorrow, because it's all I've had chance to edit, has been this bit. So this is part one, Friday night, Friday evening after work. Tomorrow will be Saturday mornings, and you'll see the two kind of go together. Anyway, here you go. Hi guys, it is Friday evening, about 6 o'clock, and I've had a week's work from hell. Just a horrific week at work. You know, we all have good days and bad days at work, and I've just had a horrible week. It's been just the nature of the work. The work has just been horrible, and you know, it is what it is. It's not a complaint. I'm very, very, very fortunate to do something that I generally love, but you know, this week was pretty crappy and a struggle. I only say that to kind of give some context to where we are. So like I say, it's Friday night, and I was headed home, and I was really, really looking forward to a relaxed evening. I had no plans. I was going to do the bare minimum. That's all been thrown into disarray. You can probably see I've got a little bit of a black eye. I had a roof tile hit me in the face today. But I came home, milked the goats, and I was greeted by piglets out in the meadow. So me and my wife, mainly my wife at the moment, to be fair, you can see, is making some temporary repairs to the fencing. We've done a little bit already, and it's just one of them. The timing is horrendous, because we knew what state the fencing was in, and my plan, long-term thinking, was we were going to run electric fence all around the outside of it. Great, jobs are good and all done. But of course, because we're limited to just having pigs here for a few days now, it doesn't even come close to warranting that amount of effort. But at the same time, we're struggling with what seems to be more and more failures in the fence. So it's about juggling what's required versus effort and time and everything else, and of course money. We don't want to spend a load of money on the fencing now. Anyway, that's where we are. I've now got to go and go to the bakery next door and get a load of food. I'm going to just make sure they've got loads and loads of food, so that they're much less likely to want to get out, and hopefully make it to bedtime. Yeah, so the time now is 6 o'clock, and please, please, please don't any of you take this as me just complaining and whining, because that's not really in my nature anyway. I mean, we all have good days and bad days, don't we? But every single thing, every single problem that I have in my life is a problem, I've said this before, that I've worked very hard to create for myself. So, you know, it's not a complaint. I keep all that in perspective when I talk about these kinds of things. But there are times, if you've got animals, particularly if you've got large animals, there are times when you're just like pulling your hair out, because look at my hair. That's a lot of hair to pull out, isn't it? Crazy. But the point is, you know, they can cause some damage if they get in the wrong place. And, you know, it's not the same as a chicken getting out into your neighbour's garden. If a pig gets out into your neighbour's garden, then potentially it's a pretty big problem. It's just a bit stressful. Because of the position we're in at the moment, because we're here temporarily, because the pigs are here super temporarily, they're literally here for a few more days. The piglets are almost weaned now, and most of them are sold, and they'll all be going next Saturday in 8 days' time. And as soon as the piglets are gone, if I haven't found a home for the mum, for the sow, then I'm actually going to butcher her. I'm going to slaughter and butcher her. So literally in 10 days' time, there won't be any pigs here. So it puts us in a real quandary. What do we do about the fencing? The last thing we want to do is spend a load of money on a load of fencing that we're never, ever, ever going to use beyond a few days. So I still don't know what the solution is. We've done a temporary job just to get us to tomorrow, basically. And as I say, I've just got in the car to go and pick up a load of bread from the bakery next door, hopefully, and basically just give her loads and loads of feed. I've also got to go and check my crayfish traps. Now, I had planned, and this is me just whinging a little bit about my week, so forgive me. Skip forwards like 3 minutes if you don't want to hear me whinging. But because I've had a really tough week at work, I'd planned to be inside the house by now, in the bath, and I'd planned to be in the bath for 2 hours and then go to bed. That was going to be my night. And now I haven't made it into the house yet. I've literally just dropped the milk off from milking in the fridge. That's it. That's the only, like 20 seconds. That's the only bit of time I've spent in the house, and it's 6 p.m. and I'm about to leave, and I'm not going to get back here for another half an hour to an hour because I've got to check my crayfish traps as well, which I've taken to doing every night now. We're leaving them where they are. And interestingly, I got a comment saying about trying some different bait. Well, I'd already switched up and gone back to the bait that I would usually use, which is some cat food. So it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference that makes to the catch. It's been, you know, about 3 a day on average the last 3 or 4 days. And what is interesting though, what is really, really good is that is some ham, rinds and sort of leftovers from one meal has caught all the crayfish so far. And even though it's sort of turned white and looks a bit insipid, doesn't look like it's got any smell or flavour to it, it's still attracting them at the same rate, which is amazing. So it'll be interesting to see what the cat food does, which definitely smells a lot stronger. So we're going to have a look at that in a second. And I'll pick up some bread from the bakery as well while I'm out, hopefully. Get back, chuck loads of bread up into the wood for the pigs, and then get in, process my milk. This is back to whinging. And process my milk, and then probably get to run a bath about 8 o'clock. My wife, so here's the other side of it as well. My wife's got a wedding to go to. In COVID times, it's really odd because all the plans for this wedding were made when there were quite strict restrictions, I guess. I don't really know. And so my wife's been invited on her own to a wedding. And so she's going to a wedding reception this evening. So literally, apart from about 20 minutes, quite stressful together, getting the pigs in first of all and then fixing the fence, we won't see each other today. And apart from 10 minutes this morning before I left for work. So that's unusual. It just exaggerates my feeling of not being able to get into the house, because my wife's literally gone in now to have a shower, get changed, and then by the time I get back, she'll probably have left. And even though we've been married about 17 years, I say about 17 years, I'm not sure if I think it's 18 years next month. Even though we've been married a little while, I still really like to see her and my kids. So, yeah, feeling a little bit sorry for myself. Don't know, can you see that black eye? It's not much of one. I've probably already filled you guys in on what I've been doing this week at work in the live stream, which was Saturday instead of Sunday. So I won't bore you with that story again. Right, off to the river and the bakery. So just coming back to check the crayfish traps now, and I haven't got my tripod with me, so it'll be a little bit trickier to film me actually getting them out of the water, but I will show you anything we catch and talk a little bit about the comparisons between the baits. Okay, so I've just done my traps, and really quite interesting, almost exactly the same as the average. So we've got 6 crayfish across the 2 traps, which is pretty much what we've been averaging every night for the last 3 or 4 nights. Really quite surprised by the efficacy of the ham rind, the ham fat, which is what we've had in there up until now, which went for days and days capturing the same number. So yeah, really quite pleasantly surprised by that, but we shall not really mess with it anymore. We'll just carry on every night on the way home, empty the traps. We'll see on the way home, obviously a bit later tonight, but depending on what sort of time we can get here, but once a day we'll come here, empty the traps, and see how many we can collect. If you imagine, we're averaging 6 a day, so that's over 30 a week, about 120, 130 a month, something like that. So you can imagine it's quite a good way of collecting protein, of collecting meat. And that's just with 2 traps. I could easily, and I'll probably apply and get a few more traps so that I can set maybe 4 or 6, because there's a huge long stretch of river here which is teeming with crayfish. And if you imagine I set 6 traps and we spread out, it's probably going to take me, if it takes me, let's say half an hour at the moment to leave home, come here, check them and go home again, it's only going to take me 40 minutes, another 10 minutes to do 6 traps once I'm here. So then we go from 130 a month to 400 a month. And all of a sudden, that's, a reasonable, that's going to make a reasonable dent in your intake, in your food intake, isn't it? So, and that's in 1 month. Of course, you know, I wouldn't want to be doing it all year round, and we wouldn't catch them all year round. They're really dormant in the winter. But in the summer months, for 2 or 3 months in the summer, if you do this for, you know, the 3 warmest summer months, July, August, September, then I could easily see that you could get 1,200 crayfish in those 3 months. Wow, you know, for 40 minutes work a day. And is it work, really, being somewhere like this? I certainly feel happier now, just sat here next to the river, than, you know, I did 10 minutes ago, stressing out about fences and pigs. So, you know, I think that's definitely the way to go. And that's all I had chance to film and all I had chance to edit to get something out for you guys today on Sunday. But rest assured, there's some nice conclusion coming in the next video. Cheers, thanks for watching. Make sure you press that like button, leave me a comment down below and subscribe to my channel. You know all the good things. Speak to you soon. Cheers.